Hi, and welcome back to another video for Your Soul Evolution. My name is Erin, and I help people to evolve spiritually and to awaken to new perspectives. In today's video, I wanted to continue to discuss journaling, and this time go into detail on how I use a venting journal to work through anger and frustration. This is a great alternative to completely losing it, blowing up at someone, possibly saying things that you don't mean, that you're just saying out of that anger, and allowing you to release that anger and frustration in a healthy way so that it does not manifest in your body in a physical way. This happens to people all the time. They don't know how to deal with their anger, so they continue to hold it in and push it down and push it down and push it down, and it has to have an outlet. And as you continue to push it down into your body, eventually it will manifest in a physical way. And that is a lot of the cause for the disease and illness that we have, is because it's just negative, yucky energy that we are storing in our body that needs to be released. I do recommend that you use a separate journal for each of these topics that I have been discussing. My manifesting journal has a totally different vibe from my venting journal. My dream journal has a totally different vibe, and other journals that I have, each one deserves their own separate spiral or leather-bound book, whatever you prefer to use. So I'll go ahead and get right into it. Anytime I have a situation where I'm feeling very angry, or I can't seem to let something go, or I'm very frustrated, or just something keeps popping back into my mind, like I should have said this or I should have said that, instead of entertaining that, I go ahead and I simply grab my venting journal and I just start writing. And I write out all the details of that situation, everything that happened, what that person said, what I said, how I feel like it should have went down, how it actually went down, that I think they're a real, you know what, jerk, whatever it is. Feel free, allow yourself to get all of that off your chest and just write it out, whatever you need to say, until you start to feel a calming come over you. And honestly, what happens to me 99% of the time is, as I am journaling this out, I begin to have a realization that I was making assumptions, that I expected this person to react in a certain way or do something, and my expectations were not fulfilled. Now, we know from the 4 agreements that making assumptions is never a good idea, because people are always doing things from their own perceptions, and our own perceptions have been molded for our entire life based on our own past experiences, our situations with other people. So no one can ever be expected to act a certain way, because we've all had totally different life experiences. And you can never know what another person is thinking. Even if you feel like you know everything about that person and how they would have responded. So it doesn't always end up that way. And we can't put our own expectations on other people. I will begin to realize that if I had asked more questions or asked for some clarification, then this situation could have played out a lot differently. We have to try and communicate with others more clearly to avoid conflict. And remember that we're all reacting in certain ways based on our own personal perceptions. Journaling for this purpose is so therapeutic. It's so beneficial. I highly recommend it. It allows you to work through that frustration in a positive way, in a healthy way, in a beneficial way, without making it worse by saying things to other people you don't mean. Now, sometimes you may be frustrated at yourself. That's happened to me plenty of times. I was in a situation, I did or said something that I feel like I shouldn't have said, and I'll also journal out how I could have handled that better. Sometimes you just get angry at yourself. But the whole point of this is to let go of all of those low vibrational feelings. Anytime we have low vibrational state of being, we just open ourselves to getting more situations that will bring us anger and frustration. So when we get angry or frustrated, we need to feel those feelings, but then you don't want to linger there. You want to let them go as soon as you can and not harbor anger and frustration or fear or guilt or sadness or any of those low vibrational feelings, because you literally just leave the door wide open for more of those situations to come to you, because the law of attraction is always at play, and what you're putting out is always coming back to you. So if you're just putting out all that anger and all that frustration, you're going to bring more back to you. I encourage you to try this alternative rather than blowing up at people, being angry all the time. We've all heard the quote that anger is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. And that is so true. Anger does not benefit us in any way. It just brings down our vibration and then can lead to disease and illness because we're harboring hatred or things like this. It usually does not do any good to blow up at someone else, because then they're just going to blow up right back at you, and it won't end well for either person. So I encourage you to, in addition to your manifesting journal, get you a venting journal and work through negative and low vibrational feelings in this way. And I promise you that as you journal these things out, you will feel such a release in letting these things go. There's just something about getting them down on the paper that they just seem to start to dissipate. So I hope this video helps you. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like and subscribe. If you know someone who would benefit from this video, please share it. And until then, I'll see you on the next video.